So, this client had an incident back in February, which left her with clinical PTSD, agoraphobia, which is basically a fear of public spaces, and also conversion disorder, which presented with symptoms of not being able to smell or taste things anymore.
Well, let me back up a little bit because I'd had extreme diagnoses for ADHD, for PTSD, complex PTSD, agoraphobia, and the list went on for medical stuff. I mean, it was just boom, 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 boom. So prior to coming in here, I had done already so much work with trying to holistically change my thinking, what I felt in my body, and most certainly trying to self-regulate. And no matter what I did, it was still an improvement from the 11 medications that I was on previous to a stroke in February. Okay, I couldn't do it on my own, and I recognized that. And so you were one of the tools, okay, or NLP was one of the tools that I went, why don't I try this? I mean, what am I going to lose?
Yeah, right.
Right? I mean, the cost of a session, okay?
Right. Absolutely.
I mean, come on. And I have to admit, I thought I was a little skeptical. I wasn't sure if it would work. I'd had things that worked, things that didn't.
Sure.
And keep your place. And I was astounded because even when I came in, even though I had some other tools I pulled out of my bag that had brought my anxiety to a point that I could mentally function better than I had before, I was still feeling this huge amount of anxiety, terror actually, that would still just go literally from toes up to about right here. Any kind of social, going out in society, I couldn't drive. I would miss a lot of my classes at the university because I couldn't deal with being around people. The idea of going to see another doctor and then telling me it's all in my head, or being unwilling to, or assign me testing and stuff like that I knew I couldn't afford, you know, or not even just feeling like I was heard. I mean, let's be real.
Sure.
Okay. And so it could be anything. And I was on this like fire wheel type spinning out of control. And one little thing could set me off and I would be spinning out of control in my thoughts. It truly, it was so incredibly debilitating. It felt like it was choking the life out of me, and I constantly felt like someone was choking my throat and pressing down on my chest, and so breathing obviously just was a struggle. And that's even with me trying meditative practices, and I love things like that. I just think that my symptoms had spiraled so far out of control that there was I couldn't shift it, or I'd shifted as far as I could on my own.
Yeah.
Does that make sense?
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay. And so coming in, I really just wanted a sense that I could be safe in my body. I have no definition of what that is. I'm beginning to kind of get a sense that, maybe there is this thing called safety, you know, something other than what they described in the dictionary,
Sure.
you know?
Yeah.
But previous to the NLP session, I literally would tell my therapist, I don't know what that means. You're telling me this thing. I understand what the word means, but what does it feel like? And so my idea wasn't necessarily to try to get better cognitive abilities. It literally was to feel comfortable and safe in my own skin, because I wasn't.
Right. What was different?
Oh my gosh, okay, that was so interesting because I almost couldn't believe it. It was literally like sunshine had just spilled completely over this very dark, tight, confined, caged-in space. And for the first time, probably since February, and maybe even longer, you know, it's very possible that I was stuck for a lot longer than that past that time. I literally felt like there was just this light that came on in my system. And for the first time, I felt a little inkling of what it meant to be me. Again, you know, but it was authentic. It wasn't because I was trying to to make someone else happy
Sure.
or meet someone else's expectations or
Right.
anything. I literally could go, oh my gosh, here it is. This is, I felt alive. I felt like I could breathe for the first time.